Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today I'm here with Philosophical Pickle, and we're going to be talking as two comic nerds about, it's in celebration of the Shang Chi trailer that dropped. I think it was yesterday, and we're going to be discussing superheroes who we don't get. So, I mean, the first thing when I heard of this new Asian character, I was like, I don't know no Ching Chi, man. Who's this Ching Chi motherfucker? Right? Like, so obviously since I've kind of looked into him, and the trailer was dope, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one. But in celebration of that, I just wanted to talk about superheroes who, we generally speaking, we don't understand as comic book nerds. Like, we've never been able to wrap our heads around the particular superhero and their mythology, or how they got their powers, or how they work, basically. So we're going to go through different ones of ours and discuss. We don't know who each other is going to pick, so it should be a funny one to hear. Which one do you want to go first, or should I go first?
You definitely take it away, man. This is your video. I'm just along for the beautiful, sexy ride that you're taking me on.
Oh, and by the way, we're going to leave Shang Chi. I know I'm borderlining. I love.
Might as well call him Kung Pao. I mean, come on.
I love Asians, but that was what I thought when I first heard it. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about Shang-Chi at the end and see if we can wrap our heads around his mythology. So first one, straight out the bat, this one has always been super confusing to me, and maybe you can help me out, because I was a big fan of the animated Justice League TV show, right? Did you ever watch that?
Yes, I did. I think it came out in 2004, I believe.
Right.
So I was 9 years old. So, it hit the sweet spot for my little 9-year-old head.
Oh, okay, right, exactly. So I loved all the characters. I thought all of them were amazing. But there was always this one character who, for me, I just never could wrap my head around. I was like, I don't know. I don't understand your mythology. I don't quite know what your powers are. What's going on with you?
I think I can guess who it is.
Go on.
I'm going to guess it's either Hawkman or Hawkgirl.
Yeah, it's the Thanagarian herself, Hawkgirl. And Hawkman, to be honest, right?
Okay.
Like, and trust me, I've given it a chance. I've tried to read it. I've tried to understand it. What is nth metal and what does it do? And what exactly are Hawkgirl's powers? I've never understood.
I think in the show, basically, she can fly. She's super strong, and she has a mallet.
Is she super strong?
I think so, because villains like smack her across hundreds of feet, and she survives it. So I think she's strong.
Isn't that the nth metal belt, though? First of all, what gives her powers?
To be completely honest, I don't know shit about Hawkwoman, Hawkgirl.
Right. Okay.
You're gonna have to I have one Hawkman comic.
Let's start off. Let's try and think about this. Jesus, oh come on, man. I was anyway. Did you read that?
Come on, man. Have a little fun.
Man. I was just joking, dude. All right. Jesus Christ, I knew it. It was a joke, guys. I fucking love Asian people. Anyway,
Nerdman loves Asian women. Don't worry.
Shut up. I like Asian people, and that was a joke. I was just messing about. But anyway, so can't say anything these days. So basically, her power set was her mythology was like she comes from like Thanageria, right? But it also had something to do with ancient Egypt, and
yeah,
for some reason she was reincarnated, like she was a reincarnation of an Egyptian queen.
wait, so her and Hawkman have the same exact story? Because I know that's his story. Do they have the same exact powers? I really don't know. Are they husband and wife, or are they? What are they?
That's what I don't get. Like they're meant to be together or something. Like their love story over many, like they've been in love many times because
Okay.
reincarnated or something like that. And then there's the powers, man. So there's the nth metal which is in itself confusing. Like I don't know what is nth metal and what does it do in the DC? It doesn't seem to be that powerful. Like it can't hurt that. And it's scientific, maybe.
Gotta be honest there. I don't know anything about nth metal. I guess it's kind of like vibranium. It's just really strong. Maybe
it's just really strong, right? But so here we go. She was a Thanagarian alien who was turned and died on Egypt, dude. If you want info on the Hawkman and Hawkgirl mythos, just ask. Okay, Fenya.
Yeah, Fenrir the Ice Wolf, Hawkman and Hawkgirl are definitely two characters I don't know much about. I only know them from, like I said, I have one Hawkman comic, and it's actually pretty cool. The art and it's really good. And I know Hawkgirl from the animated show, but they're not really two characters. They're very C-list heroes that I never honestly got into. Not exactly the most compelling, but I mean, they look cool. I don't know.
Nth metal is like vibranium, but instead of absorbing vibrations, it observes magic. See, this is the kind of stuff, though, that I never saw in the animated show. It never really explained that too well. And I always thought, wait a second, everyone else can fly without wings, so her having wings is kind of like, it makes her whack. She can't fly as fast as Wonder Woman or Superman. She's not as strong as Wonder Woman or Superman. And she didn't have to, like each guy has like a unique thing that they do in that show. Like Green Lantern obviously can do green, like the green imagination stuff.
Green shit.
Flashes fast, Superman like can do basically everything. Wonder Woman kind of can do like everything, but like also has like some warrior side to her. Batman, strategy, martial arts. But her powers seem to be nerfed forms of everyone else's powers. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
they're just kind of, like I said, C-list, kind of lame heroes. I mean, they might be cool if I gave them a chance. I don't know.
It's also incredibly strong. Enough amounts could possibly pierce a Kryptonian skin. See, I didn't know that because of its magical properties. And I honestly never got the nth metal wings thing because her wings, right? And
but didn't you
in DNA?
Yeah, I knew the Egyptian thing that he was reincarnated and stuff, but I'm maybe they'll give us more of a an in-depth analysis of the characters when Black Adam comes out, because I know Hawkman's going to be in that. So
yeah,
I doubt they're going to go very deep into it because he'll be like the fifth main character.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's not like I dislike necessarily these characters. It's just that I've tried to wrap my head around them. Like, it's not like, like when you explain Batman, it's just like parents died in street, becomes Avenger of the Night. When you explain Superman, powered by the yellow sun, like planet explode. Wonder Woman comes from, ancient island of women or whatever, and powered by the gods, right? Like, there's just a basic way you can kind of explain, or Flash, super fast, he some lightning hit chemicals and made him super fast. It's bizarre, it's stupid, but I can wrap my head around like the comic book logic. Whereas Hawkgirl, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, where like I honestly, to this day, apart from flight and maybe slightly advanced strength, I still don't know what her whole power set is just from watching that cartoon.
Well, I think that maybe they didn't delve into it because even though that cartoon did have some deeper themes, it was made for 10-year-olds. So you just wanted to see her hit stuff with the hammer that probably not kids don't want to see you go deep into the magic of the hammer and the backstory. I guess if you watch that cartoon, they expect you to kind of know the characters. Because do they have episodes where it goes into Superman and Batman's backstory? And wonder what like do they give the details of everybody or do we just know?
No, they give a deep backstory for Hawk Girl as well, because there's like 3 episodes where it's just like basically talking about like her, mythology essentially. You know, superhero origins can be messed up and crazy as humanly imaginable. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I was saying that, yeah, like they did a whole episode that was dedicated to that, if you remember.
I don't.
Like there was like a 3-episode arc where she based Shiera, yeah, like something like that. She basically betrays the Justice League and goes back to Hawkman, and you get that whole Thanagarian invasion storyline. And that's where they tried to explain it, but I didn't get the Egyptian connection, and I still don't get her power. But anyway, we can move on to one of yours. What's one of yours?
I was thinking that. So let me say that the whole concept of not. I know that you're not stupid. It's not that you don't actually understand, but you're just like it's hard to wrap your head around it. Like Finwar said, like I can wrap my head around anything. If you throw some boiling grits onto my face and I turn into like a mutated Medea, like that, it would be believable. Like anything in the comics, ooze falling on characters, getting something shoved up your ass, anything, I will believe it to turn you into a hero. But one of the laziest heroes that I've ever seen, and I just started thinking about this the past few years, I was like, damn, Stan Lee, Thor is like such a lazy character because he literally just takes a god from mythology and is like, wait, let me use him. Yeah, let me take him. Oh, he has like this thing about this hammer. Okay, he'll use the hammer. Like he just takes every element from Greek mythology. No, Norse mythology. I'm sorry, and just uses it in the Marvel comics and then changes some things. And it's one of the characters where I'm like, it's just kind of lazy. It's uninspired. It's one of those times that Stan Lee just, come on, man. Like I get it, but also I don't get why he just did that.
It's funny you said that because I've always thought that in the back of my head, but I've never said it out before, like loud before. Like it is really super lazy. Like he just took Thor, basically a Norse god, and tries to introduce it into a world where he doesn't really work. Like if it was a super, how would you say, like
Thor belongs in DC.
Thor works better in DC, basically.
He would work better in DC, like as a part of the Wonder Woman culture or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Wonder Woman's uncle or something. But he doesn't really work as well in Marvel. But I mean, they made us love him, so I mean, they did it justice. But like, if you think about the concept, it's really weird.
I like Thor, but it was just, I always thought that was weird that he was just, and also, do you remember, I missed this character, because you remember he used to turn from something Blake, I can't remember.
He would take his long stick, hit the ground as Donald Blake, and he would turn into Thor. Blake, and in the first Thor movie, when they give him like a fake ID, it says Donald Blake on it. Cool little Easter egg.
I missed that. So what happened to Donald, man? I used to like that guy. He was cool. It was like
he was just a blonde hair geek.
Yeah,
I don't miss Donald.
I miss Donald.
You miss Donald Trump? I mean, Donald Blake?
That would be like the Hulk just always be. Yeah, I miss Donald Trump as well. But that would be like the Hulk always being the Hulk. Do you know what I mean? Like it would just be.
But it works more with the Hulk because it didn't hurt Donald Blake to have this monster come out. He was just like a regular guy, and then he hit the ground and he turns into Thor. I don't miss Donald.
You remember that? I don't know if maybe you're too young for this, but there was a Marvel universe before the actual MCU. It was a small one, and it started with the Incredible Hulk TV series.
And Thor came in there, and he was cheesy as hell. Yeah, I've seen that.
He,
Yeah.
Listen, I like him better than fucking the MCU Thor. I really do. I kind of like, he was kind of arrogant and pompous, but in a cool way.
And that's another thing, is that on screen, I don't think you can make Thor like Chris Hemsworth is huge. He's big. He's sexy. But Thor is in the comics huge. Like, he needs to be like bodybuilder huge. But you can't really find a bodybuilder that's a good enough of an actor to do it. But like, they can't even make Thor big enough in the movies. Like, he's way too skinny. Like, 'cause he's thick in the comics. He's huge. He's godly, like unattainable to humans. But we can't see that in the movies.
Well, Chris Hemsworth isn't doing badly in terms of that. He's doing.
I know, he's very sexy.
In terms of that, but look, but I don't see Thor as necessarily sexy. Do you know what I mean? Or like a good-looking guy. I like the other guy who was. He just had a pompous face, and that's what you expect.
He had more of like a Conan the Barbarian caveman brow, the one from the Hulk show, and that's what I do hate about the Marvel movies. If I have to pick something that I don't like how every character they cast is like conventionally hot. Like, can we get some normal looking people? Like, Thor should have this caveman looking brow. He's not supposed to be hot. He's supposed to be like this warrior, like this dirty, grimy warrior. I don't know.
I absolutely agree with that 100%. Same with the X-Men universe, with like Wolverine being cast as like this good, even though I do like Jackman. I actually think Jackman's better in other movies than he is in the X-Men. But
dude, he's. Did you say you've seen Prisoners?
Yeah, he's great in that.
He's so good in that, and he's good in a Bad Education. It came out last year. He's great in that movie.
Yeah, but so back to the topic. But look, sometimes writers are lazy and need to use legally accessible things to use. Other legally accessible things. Gods come from actual mythologies that are legal. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because they've gone on for so long.
I was in my head when I was saying it. I was thinking the reason he did it is because nobody owns the IP of Thor. It's like up for grabs, so let's do it.
Yeah. And yeah, like what was I going to say? That you're right about the MCU though, with the good looking, because I feel the same about Captain America's all right, because it makes sense him being quite good looking, but he also doesn't have to be. Do you know what I mean? There's other things that I'm going to get onto. I'll save this for later, but I'm going to get onto something about him later. But yeah, like definitely, for instance, Superman, I don't think needs to be like a really fucking conventionally good-looking person at all. I think, in fact, quite the opposite. Like, I think he has to be somebody who can be both. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have somebody who can be Clark Kent, and you can believe that everyone would look past him, right, and not notice.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, but at the same time, and that's why Chris Reeves was such a great find, you know, in terms of the earnestness of Superman but he was a good-looking dude, but ultimately he could look like the goofiest guy around, right? Like,
he also played Goofy really well, like the way he would like stumble, and he has that golly gee attitude. Christopher Reeves, he's also another character, dude. His Superman was way too skinny, and I know they couldn't do much about it back in the day, but he's like way too slender for
buff, man. What are you talking about? He was buff. He just didn't do the muscular. I don't like Superman all like muscly, like
compared to me, he's probably buff, but what Superman should look like, man, he's so scrawny.
No, man, I don't think Superman needs. Look, he's super strong because of he could be the skinniest guy. Like, he could be like you or me, and still, hold up push a planet, because it's his powers come from the sun. It's nothing to do with like him being muscular.
But his cells drink in the sun and make his muscles huge. Like he might not be in great shape on his planet, but here you want to see that. You want to see the Flashpoint Superman where he's anorexic.
So every every Kryptonian is a supermodel, basically, a muscle bounce. So that means the women should all be fucking super muscular as well. They should all be bodybuilders. All the female Kryptonians should be bodybuilders. If the sun drinks up the rays, like Supergirl should be a fucking bodybuilder.
She should, but
like logic.
In the comics, Superman is buff, so that's how I want to see him on screen. Like he's always been drawn as super buff, super handsome.
No, everyone's buff in the comics, and that's the problem with the comics. The comics, like, I get it why they do it in the comics, but I don't think it goes with all of the characters. Sometimes you're just like, I don't feel like that character should be this super buff kind of good-looking person like all the time. Like, as I said, Superman's a prime example. Batman should be buff. Batman should be like, he's working out, he's doing all, the push-ups, everything like that. He should be buff. Wonder Woman, should be like an athletic kind of, like Olympian style female. But there's certain characters, again, that it just doesn't, like, can you imagine if they just made, Rorschach, for instance, from Watchmen, just this really muscular buff dude? It's just like, that doesn't work for that character. But
that's because that's how. But he was portrayed how he was drawn in the comics.
No, but I'm saying you can imagine some comic people who draw comics would draw him like that because they draw everyone.
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, they draw everyone like that. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Yeah. So who's your next buffoon that you don't get?
I've got to go with. I'm going to go with Captain Marvel. So
DC or Marvel?
Marvel, Captain Marvel.
The definitive Captain Marvel, baby.
So sup, guys? Chris Reeves is the perfect definitive soups. Chris Reeves really worked out for Superman. I mean, see those workout vids. Yeah, I think he was great. He was like a corn-fed farm boy. That's what I want to see from my Superman, like someone who looks like a corn-fed farm boy, not like a fucking GQ, Abercrombie and Fitch, six packs, and I don't need that. It's okay. I don't mind Henry Cavill doing that, but I don't think that's necessary.
Super Wise, what's up, dude? And just a quick aside, I've never gotten the term corn-fed. Because I've eaten corn my whole life because I've been poor, and it doesn't make me buff. Corn has barely any nutrients, especially out of a can. Corn-fed makes you buff. I've never gotten that saying. Continue.
He got corn from the farm, not from the can.
Okay.
Like you. That's why he's so scrawny, man. No. No, you do look corn-fed anyway. What are you talking about?
I'm a decently big guy, but whatever.
You're a perfect example. So I'd cast you as Superman if you were an actor. You'd be the type. You'd exactly be the type.
Hey.
But so
Captain Marvel, why do you not get her?
All right. I'm talking about MCU movie Captain Marvel. Also, don't really get the Captain Marvel from the comics, right? First of all, movie Captain Marvel. Let's deal with her.
I'd rather not, but let's do it.
How does she become the most powerful superhero in all of the MCU? Because she stood next to an exploding fucking ship. That not only did the ship explode, right? It explodes, sets off the energy, the Tesseract energy, right, which she supposedly absorbs. But there's a scientist woman who's right next to her, and I believe an alien as well is near her as well when that happens, and they both get killed by this explosion. What?
I've only seen that movie once. Once is too much.
Once wasn't enough.
It's Nerdman. It's because she has tenacity. It's because she has heart. It's because the men told her whole life that she was gonna be nothing, that she wasn't good enough. So the explosion was like she just took it in. She just took it. You get it? That's the
Right.
explanation.
Yeah,
She's just
she has special,
strong.
no, she has special genes, right? Because she's half alien or something.
I honestly forgot. I honestly don't. I don't remember that from the movie. I've seen it. I saw it one time last year. I don't know.
Can I ask you, anybody know, anybody else know this? Is Captain Marvel Miss Marvel?
Oh wait. They
Is Captain Marvel the one that Rogue gets her powers from?
I believe so because she was invented. Because she got her powers from Captain Marvel, and then she became Miss Marvel. And I guess that was too they didn't want it to be like a girl thing, so they made her Captain Marvel. I could be wrong about that though. I'm pretty sure she's the one though.
I'm pretty sure. Go on.
Did she survive because she had Jan Rog's blood infused into her, or did that not happen when the explosion happened?
No,
Or
that
did the blood go into her? I forgot, dude.
I think that happened after because she had the power when it first started, and then they started infusing her with. They started infusing her with blood after. Also, very weird story, that Captain Marvel story. Because
Finner and Supervisor agreeing with us that she's a pretty trash character. Because
really?
at least you can make excuses like Thor. He was born as a god, and then he kind of he lost his powers, earned it back again by being a good man. Captain America earned his powers. Iron Man earned his powers. Black Widow trained for her powers. Hawkeye, they all joined Shield. She was just standing beside an explosion.
Wait, yeah, no, it's true. That is true. I have to say one thing about Iron Man though. Iron Man was tight in the first Iron Man, and he's always been tight because Robert Downey Jr. is super charming. But he's OP as fuck. He's more OP than Captain Marvel. I don't care what anyone says. He is the most OP fucking character I've ever seen in any universe, in any superhero universe. This brother could do anything. Don't you invent time travel just after a nap after tea. Yeah, I can just invent time travel, that's cool. That's sweet.
Yeah, that was very rushed.
Hulk's been working on it for fucking ages. Still
Hulk is a bitch.
Hulk is a bitch, that's true. Hulk's been there for a while. He can let time go through people. He thinks about it for what? 20 minutes or so. Well, I'll just have a look at this. Fuck it. Creates a powerful fucking superhero. Most powerful superhero. Invents vision somehow. I don't know how he did that. Science, I guess. And then the coup de grace. The coup de grace snaps the fucking
that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, the gauntlet quicker than even Hulk did.
Hulk was holding Hulk was holding his arm. And he could barely do it. And Iron Man literally he does it with such suave. He's like, not only can he do it and not shake, he does it and says a line, I am Iron Man. Hulk couldn't even speak. But I agree about in Endgame, they completely made him a super genius, way unrealistic. No,
that brother's alive, right? He's alive. That brother is alive. I know he's alive. He's coming back.
No, he's not alive, but he is definitely coming back.
No universe-shattering, cosmic weapon can kill fucking Tony Stark, bruh.
He's dead, but he is coming back. He's going to be an AI, an alternate universe Tony Stark, a flashback. RDJ is coming back hard. If you think he isn't coming back, if you think that Steve Rogers isn't coming back, I'm sorry, you're dumb. If you genuinely think that they're not going to come back, man, it might be 5-6 years, but they're going to do another movie where they time travel and they're going to go back to the MCU of 10 years ago. Yeah. But back to Captain Marvel.
Would be a little bit OP as well, but not as OP.
We got off the topic of sucky Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. In the comics, what's her origin? She
sucks.
Caught in an explosion with the original Captain Marvel, and somehow by being in the explosion with him, her DNA splices with his, and she becomes the new Captain Marvel. Thoughts?
I have none. I mean, she was one of the original characters that I can remember that was a woman who just got the name of another superhero just because, and it stuck. I mean, I've never been a huge Captain Marvel fan, so I don't know a lot about her. I don't want to. And if she's anything like she is in the movies, I don't want to touch her comics because she's she's the worst main hero in the MCU, hands down. And it's going to completely ruin those movies when she's. We're not going to have Chadwick Boseman anymore, but we're going to fucking have Brie Larson leading the new Avengers. No thanks. She's going to take me out of every scene she's in because she is like a plastic mannequin.
Yeah. This is what MCU did perfectly, right. And this was what DC and now this third or fourth phase of MCU is doing wrong. They did the solo movies. They waited to see who were the popular characters. And then they made those popular characters like the center of the thing. I mean, you can imagine before Hulk and Iron Man came out, they probably thought Hulk was going to be the center of the MCU. He's the most popular character, right? So they probably thought, oh, we're going to make sure that Hulk gets, all the big kind of stuff. But then they realized, oh, wait, no, people like Iron Man, let's make sure he gets his due, make sure he's the center of that, of that universe. Now, in the DCEU, they just assumed that was going to be Ben Affleck's Batman because what's his name? Christian Bale's Batman was popular. So, Ben Affleck's Batman's going to be the most popular. They didn't wait. And if they had have waited, they would have known, no, it's not Superman and Batman who are the most popular in the universe. Unfortunately, because certain people suck, it's actually Wonder Woman who's the most popular character in the universe, right? And you need to treat her with respect in your Justice League movie.
And she's the worst actress out of them all.
Thank you. I'm not even going to go into it. You're trying to trigger me. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to agree with you here, motherfucker. And in the MCU, that's what they're doing with this Captain Marvel situation. They're just like, we're going to choose who the character, who people, warm to, or we're going to choose, like the hero at the center of the universe and pick who people warm to. And that's a mistake.
You're completely right because they filmed the first thing that Brie Larson filmed, she said, was her scenes for Endgame. So before her movie even came out, before we got to register how much people loved her, she was already filming the scene where fucking Thanos headbutts her and she doesn't move. Like, they were automatically assuming people are going to want to see her destroy Thanos' ship. They're going to want to see her fight Thanos. They're going to want to see her lead the A-Force, that shot of the women. Yeah. No, you're completely wrong. For the first time, Kevin Feige was just completely wrong. We didn't want to see that. She was completely forced into Endgame, dude. Completely.
Yeah. And guess what? Everyone likes Black Widow more. Everyone likes, even I'd say even Wanda more. I saw more people cheering for Wanda when she went ape shit on Thanos than they did for Captain Marvel. Right?
Dude, I cheered when Thanos punched her with the Power Stone. I was like, please, I hope that killed her. But hey, I gotta ask Finra the Ice Wolf one question. He says that it should have been Reed Richards that invented time travel. I completely agree. But being that as it may, so Reed Richards is coming into the MCU. Finwer, what do you think about John Krasinski playing him? Just you can comment at any point, because do you really buy John Krasinski being smarter than Tony Stark? I don't. It was my second video I ever made. John Krasinski should not be Mr. Fantastic. I could go a whole video on that. What do you think about that? Do you think that John Krasinski could be believably smarter than Tony Stark in the MCU? I don't.
So look, Iron Man is the third smartest man in the Marvel Comics universe. If anyone's going to make time travel, it should have been Mr. Fantastic or Doctor Doom, which they did in the comics. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And do we think that Krasinski could do that? Come on.
So here's it. LOL. You'd say Krasinski pickle.
Oh, he knew that I would bring up Krasinski. I like Krasinski. He's a nice guy. He's great as Jimbo. He ain't Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, I don't know.
That's another story.
I don't read many Fantastic Four comics, but I'll defer to your wisdom on that. As a whole, Captain Marvel sucks. The character itself is just trash. Dude, Captain Marvel used to be fun when she was Miss Marvel. Oh, so she was Miss Marvel. Then the SJWs took
I was
over.
pretty sure she was. I just wasn't completely sure.
I was never sure of that, because I was never sure, like, why didn't Rogue inherit the other mutant power, the other powers of Captain Marvel? You know, like her energy absorption and stuff. She was the worst of them all. Literally every other female character in the MCU is more likable than Captain Marvel. Poor, what's her name? What's the actress's name? I can't remember her name.
Brie Larson?
Poor Brie Larson, man.
No, fuck poor Brie Larson. She knew what she was getting into. She is actually, dude, she's, have you seen her in the movie Short Term 12?
No.
She's really good in that movie. She's really good in the movie Room. She flubbed it. She completely flubbed it.
She just doesn't suit the character. I don't think she fits that character. She should be somebody else.
She tries to be like that stern badass, but it comes off as boring. Like,
see, that for me is a character where you do need a really hot person to play her. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like trying to be sexist here. I'm not saying like all female superheroes should be like super hot. I don't think that. But like Captain Marvel, I just think that's one. I gotta rip into
Superwise when you're done here.
All right.
Superwise, my man. He pull up his comment about Heath Ledger.
Where does he say? Where is it?
It's the third one from the bottom. He says, I think in history, look at Heath Ledger. People said he wasn't going to be a believable Joker because he was the pretty boy, but now look. So Krasinski could be the same situation for you, Pickle. So, like, it's the argument of nobody thought Heath Ledger was going to be good as the Joker. And, like, nobody thought Robert Downey Jr. could be Iron Man. But in my video, I point out both of them were nominated for Oscars before they were in those roles. Brokeback Mountain, A Knight's Tale, that skater movie. Like, Heath Ledger was a great actor, so it was believable that he could have gone outside his comfort zone. He was a character actor. John Krasinski is literally the same in everything. He's never even touched an Oscar.
Can I ask a question about John Krasinski? Because I don't know him. I don't know him as an actor so well. Has he been in a lot of films before?
He's been acting pretty consistently since like 2005. But
okay,
dude, you need to go watch my video. He's in a bunch of fucking rom-coms and like straight to DVD movies.
I hate the Heath Ledger argument. This dude had been in like 3 fucking movies. People don't remember the time that he was announced as Joker. I don't even think Superwise. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know how old you are, but like, tell me your age because I need to know this.
Superwise is 48.
He's 48. No, really?
I have no idea. No, I think he's about my age.
And you as well. I don't know how old you were when The Dark Knight came out.
I'm 25, so 13.
You were 13? When did it come out?
13-ish?
2008?
2008. So the announcement was 2007, so I was 12 or 11 and a half.
Right. Okay. So you can kind of remember like the kind of,
A
general.
little, but not. I don't honestly remember like the pandemonium. I don't remember like very
Right.
well.
Okay. So I was working. I was in an office. I remember everyone wanted to see The Dark Knight. Like we were all like, "What the fuck? Like you're gonna Ledger as the Joker?" But the thing is, this guy had been in 3 movies. He'd been in, and let's be fair, if anybody's actually sat down and watched Brokeback Mountain, which I have, and it's
I
a
have
good
twice. Great movie.
movie, good movie. I think his performance is overrated in that movie. I don't think it's an amazing Oscar worthy. In fact, if I was to hand out an Oscar to anyone in that movie, it would have been fucking what's his name? The other
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal was better in that movie than fucking Heath Ledger was.
Okay.
So was the wife. The wife, Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams was better in that. They were both. I mean, I've only watched it once, so maybe I have to watch it again. But like, I wasn't going away from that super impressed by Heath Ledger. Like, oh, this is a guy who can do anything. And then he'd been in his couple of rom-com movies before. And at the time, right, this is the kicker. If it was just him being announced, it would have been fine. But at the time, names were around the ether, like of people they were looking at. And one of the people was Sean Penn.
Ooh.
The Joker.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Sean Penn, exactly.
And I want Sean Penn right now in his 50s as the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. There were other people who were being mentioned. Great fucking Oscar, multiple Oscar actors who were being mentioned in relation to that role. So people were right to be like, "Oh shit, really? Are you sure about this?" And it lasted for about 3-4 days. No, not 3-4 days. It lasted for about a week, 2 weeks. Something like that. Like people were like, yeah, but they weren't like crazy, like, oh, Warner Brothers, like you've got to not cast him or something like that. They were just like, dude, are you sure? Are you really? You've got Sean Penn. You've got that. No one was sending letters to Warner Brothers saying like, we don't want him we don't want him to have the job. So that was the scenario then. People compare that like with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was right. I don't care what anyone says. We were right about Ben Affleck.
Can I tell you something, Nerd Man? Can I admit something? Yeah. The night that Ben Affleck was announced, I was hanging out with the film elitist, and we saw it was announced, and we both said, hell yes. Ben Affleck, like we saw like what they were seeing in the studio, like because everyone was like, Ben Affleck, the side character from Good Will Hunting. Hell yeah, Ben Affleck, dude. And I mean, we were right. He was a good Batman.
I don't think we were right at all, or you were right at all. I would say he was an okay. No, he was a better than average Batman.
A good, he was good.
He was good. He wasn't as good as Christian Bale. He was a downgrade from Christian Bale. He was a downgrade from Michael Keaton. Man, he was about as good. I'm sorry, he was about as good as fucking Batman. What was it? Batman Forever. Whoever played
Val Kilmer.
He was about as good as Val Kilmer.
Okay.
I would, dude. Put it this way. I can't imagine anyone else playing Batman in Keaton's Batman. I can't imagine anyone else playing Batman in the Dark Knight series. I can't imagine that. I think those were perfect castings. I can imagine a ton of people doing what Ben Affleck did and better. He did it good. He's a decent actor. He's paid millions of dollars to be an actor. Of course he's going to do good. He's not going to show up and stink up the place. But he wasn't special to me. And I bet you, I'll say it now, right fucking now, because I was happy when the new Batman had been cast. I was like, that's good casting.
Robert Pattinson, I agree.
Robert Pattinson. Bet you any money he smokes Ben Affleck. Right now. I'm saying now.
I think he will. I think he's going to be pretty good. But speaking of Batman, on the topic at hand, the characters that we don't get or whatever. Now, I love Batman. I absolutely love him. He's in my top 10. But there's a part of me who doesn't understand, like, he's just too smart. I mean, literally, any conversation of, hey, can Batman beat this character? Can Batman beat this character? What would Batman do in this scenario? He can do anything. Can he stop an asteroid from hitting the Earth? Yeah. Can he beat Superman? Yeah. Can he beat the Flash? Like, everybody's excuse for Batman just doing anything is that he's Batman. He's that smart. Like we were talking about, a genius level IQ was under 200, and Batman's IQ is 1045.
That's right, because he's Batman.
It's like 7 times that of the smartest human on the planet. That's just outrageous. Like he's so incredibly smart that it's just like, could he create fucking life? Could he go like Dr. Manhattan and create a planet and create life? Sure, because he's Batman. I think they go a little too far sometimes with how smart he is, that he can do anything, and it kind of takes away from any tension in the character when he's fighting characters. Like when he's fighting his villains, it's like, why should I expect him to lose ever if his IQ is 1045?
I think you're right. And you know what? Because with Iron Man, he, for the most part, even though he seems to know every fucking science, but for the most part, he is an expert in one thing that allows him to engineer the suits, and so he's an expert in that. Now there's nanotechnology and other kind of things that he seems to be an expert, but for the most part he's an expert in one thing. He hasn't perfected everything. Batman has perfected every martial art. He's perfected detective skills and criminology. He's perfected being a scientist and all areas of science, engineering, all of that. When the fuck did he have the time to do this? That's what I want to know. It's like, I get it, you're a genius, but how the fuck did you spend 6 months on each thing and were perfected each one of them? I've never got that about Batman. You're right. It's like, when did he have the actual time to do the criminology studies? Did he just
because like, so, and this is I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that like the smartest that a human can get, their IQ is less than 200. Like to be that smart, he would have had to have a proclivity for genius as a kid. But like they just make him out as like this regular kid who just loses his parents. Then he becomes smart. That's not how brains work. You have to be like born insanely different than other kids to get on that trajectory to be that smart. Yeah. You can't just one day say, I'm going to study this until I'm fucking got a 1045 IQ. It takes like years and years just to perfect jujitsu. He knows that plus 100 different other ones. So like you're right. Like a couple months on each thing. Who did he learn detective skills from? Like, he didn't go to college. He was out he was just traveling the world sulking, and he learned how to be a detective. Usually you have to be a police officer first and then a detective. Thinking about it, it makes no sense how Batman knows everything.
By the time he's 22, by the way, he's like 22 years old and he already knows all this shit.
Yeah.
So he's all right about Batman. Batman is a bit like OP. So my final one. Oh, I'm going to talk. Speaking of, since you attacked one of my favorite superheroes, I'm going to attack one of yours.
Who'd I attack?
Batman. You said it doesn't make sense.
He's one of my favorites too.
Speaking of not making sense, though, let's talk about Captain Motherfucking America in the MCU.
You want to talk about the greatest hero ever invented? I will talk about the greatest hero ever invented.
America of the MCU, who is maybe in the top 10 greatest superheroes, but certainly not the greatest, because mine are the greatest.
Okay.
Captain America, right? And this is going to come up in our discussion about Falcon and Winter Soldier. One of the reasons
I'm triggered.
I kind of enjoy Falcon a little, Falcon and the other one a little bit.
I'm triggered.
He takes the super serum, right?
Okay.
Becomes a super guy. All of a sudden, just from doing that, he knows every martial art. He knows, like, he's a weapons expert. He's a strategy expert. He becomes an actual captain. He becomes a strategic military fucking leader expert. Why? Just from taking the super serum, as far as I understand it, affect his speed, reflexes, strength. I don't understand why he then becomes this extra level where he knows martial arts and knows all these killer moves. Doesn't make sense.
I don't think Cap knows in the first movie. Cap doesn't know martial arts. He just knows how to beat ass, and it's because he got basic military defense training. Like, they taught him how to handle weapons. They taught him how to fight. He just couldn't do it before because he was scrawny. But they teach you hardcore hand-to-hand combat when you're in the military, and he just implements it when he's strong.
Really?
And then, like, in the like, because when he gets big,
martial arts shit. He was fighting Red Skull, who was doing like his own, who actually was trained, and then he was doing martial arts shit on him, man. He was doing and he was a perfect with weapons, with on a motorbike. How the fuck did he ride the motorbike so sick? He was riding the motorbike like a G.
I have never rode a motorcycle in my life, but I guarantee you give me 2 days with a motorcycle and I'll be able to ride it in a straight line.
It wasn't just riding it in a straight line, man. That you're
He did one sick move where he like jumped off and it went through and it like exploded.
He was doing a lot of sick shit on that motorbike ride.
Like, dude, people in the military, watch videos on YouTube. They get trained. Like, when he was scrawny Steve Rogers jumping on grenades, being the greatest hero in the world, they were training him how to fight. They just didn't show it. Like, I can put that in the back of my mind that, oh, he's in the military. They train you how to fight. He just can't do it yet.
Well, I think they should have shown that. It's not that. It's more of a pet peeve. I still love Cap. But more of a pet peeve. Like, I've never got why he's because because I like the idea of a Captain America who's a bit more like John McClane, from Die Hard. He gets the super serum, and he doesn't necessarily know martial arts and all that because he's American. He should be like American. It's like he's more like an Indiana Jones, John McClane kind of type. That's what I kind of. In my head, that's how I would do him. So
you're going a little far with martial arts. He kicks maybe one person in that movie. He mostly punches. He doesn't go like martial arts until the Winter Soldier, and you can assume that he's learned all these different kind of crazy jujitsu shit over like when you haven't seen him. But in the first movie, he kicks like one guy. He doesn't do any crazy leg wraps or arm bars. He's just punching people and throwing a shield, which Sam shouldn't be able to do as well, but he does, and it's pissing me off.
Sam doesn't. Sam struggles a lot more, and we'll talk about that in our.
Yes, we will.
So look forward to that. So before I go on to my last one, because we don't want to leave it too long. So Patterson is gonna learn and grow throughout his planned trilogy. So I'm excited to see Patterson become the Batman we all know and love. But yeah, Patterson has a potential to be the best. It's so funny if he's just shit. I'll be so embarrassed. I might.
I mean, if the reporting is correct, they're saying that he's very hard to work with on set. He didn't want to work out to be Batman. Yeah. I don't know what to believe, but he's apparently being like a prissy asshole on set. I don't know. We'll see when the movie comes out. I don't care how you act, as long as you nail it. I'm cool with it.
He was amazing in that 2 seconds that we saw. Perfect Batman voice.
He was good. Yeah, he looks good.
Voice I've heard, like from Keaton to Bale, Brat Pickle, defend the Cap.
Super wise. I already defended the Cap.
Peace to you too. Yeah, man. Peace as well. And then the Cap fanboy, Pickle, you need to defend with the I can do this all day attitude. Yeah, that's true. But that's what I'm saying. That's how I see Captain America. That I can do this all day. He's the underdog. He shouldn't be the guy who comes on and like he's just like like all of that kind of stuff. Like I see him as the underdog. Like I can do this all day, and then he figures out a way. He's a brawler. That's how I see him. But he's super strong and super fast, and obviously can do like flips and shit because his leg muscles are so strong. So
you have one more hero, and then I have one more quick one that you can maybe help me with.
But this stars do nothing but praise him. Yeah, it's all just rumors, but the co-stars do nothing but praise him. I don't believe those rumors. Yeah, I hope not. Like, that's all I can say. I hope not. Captain America makes me want to be a better person.
Super wise. That is the exact reason why he's my favorite. He is the character he's the person I want to be. Watching him just makes me horny. It makes me that's why Chris Evans is hot. That's all I can say.
I know.
He's who I want to be, dude. I absolutely love Captain America. He makes me cry, and I will never apologize for that. I literally cry to Captain America clips once a month. Not even lying.
While masturbating. Anyway,
yes.
But facts, Pickle. I just want to be him.
And lick him.
All right, guys, let's cool down. All right, let's not get hot and bothered because of Cap America here. All right, so I can't keep up with you. I tear up at the end of Endgame with Cap.
I can't. Super wise. We got to do a stream someday about Cap, dude. I cry at that moment every fucking time. When he tells Sam that the life that he got to live was beautiful, it was beautiful. I fucking cry like a bitch.
Dude, I don't know why you're getting so emotional over those Cap America scenes, man.
He's my favorite character in any movie ever. I mean, what can I say?
Oh, no, that's cool. I'm just saying, like, I didn't get emotional necessarily over those scenes, but Cap America's that dude. He is that dude. I do like him. So what's your last ones?
My last one, and it's more of just because I don't know him a lot. I know you know a little bit more. So Shazam, or as I've seen Finwer the Wolf, call him Captain Marvel. I'm going to call him Shazam because that's what they named the comics. I get that Shazam, the wizard, gives Billy Batson the powers, okay, because he's pure of heart, he's a good person. But why didn't he pick somebody like Steve Rogers, like a 6'4", fantastic firefighter, family man from Wisconsin? Why did he go and pick a kid who's not going to know how to use the powers? He might go and like in the movie, he might shoot a bus and kill some people because he's 12. Why didn't he pick somebody else? Why does it have to be a kid being Shazam? And like, why didn't he sense the evil? Why didn't he sense the non-pureness in Black Adam's heart when he gave him the powers?
Well, the thing is, you're misunderstanding the whole mythology. Now, actually, Shazam has one of the best mythologies in comics, actually, and it really does hold together. The Billy that you're talking about is a New 52 Billy. That's the most recent Billy that made it into the movies, and he doesn't come like, pure of heart, like the full package pure of heart. Although if you go under the layers, because he's had this sad life, but if you go under the layers, he's brave and noble, and that's why in the comics. And it should have been in the film. There's a deleted scene, which I don't know why they deleted, but it shows that Billy actually is the old pure of heart Shazam. Now, before, like early, like Golden Age Shazam, who I also love, he was given the powers because he was the only one pure of heart that the wizard could find. So the wizard was sending it out to all these adults, like the finding spell to all these adults. The adults come, all of them are somehow corrupted by their adulthood. Billy, because he was a child, was the only one that he could find that was pure of heart.
Isn't that kind of stupid, though? There's not one human on the planet who's a good person, pure at heart.
There's also a super weird thing that I really believe that the Shazam comic, because it was a very popular comic when he was, it was more popular than Superman at one point. It was outselling Superman and Batman. And I believe that it is responsible for many a killer capturing children in the 30s and 40s, because it's really strange. In the origin story of Billy, basically some weird shadowy man comes up to Billy and says, "Follow me into this train station," right?
Okay.
And Billy follows him into the train station, and that gives him the magic powers, right? Like he follows him to the train station takes him to the Rock of Eternity, right? And I always thought that's a terrible message to kids, man. Like, don't follow the shadowy guy who says, "Come with me into the train."
Yeah, that's.
Never do that. He's not taking you to a magic place. Where
But that's the what was it? The 30s, the 40s.
the 30s, like people were ignorant of that.
I mean, people let their kids just go miles away, go walk miles away and play some baseball. Be back by 9. Crazy, man, crazy times.
Yeah. So that was something I always thought. Yeah, that Shazam thing that he does that. I'm glad they've changed that. LOL. Yeah. LOL, man. That train station scene could have been much different. Yeah.
So I know Shazam from
Shazam.
all the animated movies that he's in. I like him as a team player. From Kingdom Come, from Injustice, and then I have 3 or 4 Shazam comics from the 1950s that my dad bought me. But he's already Shazam, and he's just going on goofy hijinks with Superboy and the Shazam family. So I don't really get a good grasp of his character.
He didn't use the finding spell on. That's why the wizard didn't check. And Black Adam was a slave under ancient Egypt. So he just basically the wizard gives him the powers because he wants him to lead. He's against the slavery that's happening and he thinks it's horrible. So he gives him the powers so that he can be the champion of his people. But he's already been corrupted by how cruel they've been to him. So he becomes too much, too.
Why doesn't he use that finding spell?
Well, he didn't use it because he was just like, look, I've had enough of these pharaohs and what they're doing to the slaves. I'm just going to give the slave the powers to fucking fuck them up. And then he realizes his mistake. And that's why he searches for, like the proper person next time and uses the finding spell.
So what about New 52? Does it make sense in New 52?
Well, New 52, as I said, he's kind of like a bad kid. He's kind of like Billy isn't like the pure of heart, boy with the golden heart that he used to be in the comics. He's kind of like because he was always an orphan living on the streets, right? Like in the comics that and yet he somehow manages to keep this optimistic attitude. Jeff Johns came along and said, would a kid who's been living on the streets so long, in this day and age, would he still be just that pure of heart? Maybe let's roughen Billy up a bit, but still show that inside, like really, he's still that pure-hearted good kid. And I like that. It's rare occasions when they take a aspirational hero and they muddy them a bit that really worked. Whereas in like say Man of Steel, I don't think it worked as well with Superman. Sorry, no, you have to compare it. I don't think that worked as well. I don't think it was written as well with Superman as they did with Billy. Billy, it makes sense. He's a kid on the.
Speaking of Man of Steel, why didn't the finding spell find Clark Kent and make him the champion? Clark Kent's pure of heart.
I wondered that. And also, like, there's if you look at the film in the Shazam family, there's like kids that are more kind-hearted and good-hearted than Billy, right? If you actually look at there's the little black girl, she's way more sweet than Billy, and then there's
his sucky family, yeah.
And then there's the old fuck you, and then there's the old.
I did not like that little girl. She was so cheesy.
Cute, man. And what's wrong with you, man? And then there was the oldest.
I'm a jaded ass, man.
Harry Marvel, who was also, and even what's his name? The little Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman was a sweeter kid than Billy. So
the only Freddie Freeman that I give a shit about is the first baseman for the Atlanta Braves, baby.
Why do you hate? Can we just talk? Can we just talk without you bringing your hatred into this? Can we just talk about the mythology without you having to bring it? I'm just trying to like. Anyway, good. I was trying to agree with you, but fuck you anyway.
No, in the Shazam movie, I did not like the family very much. The parents did a good job. I liked them. The I don't know, just Freddy was kind of annoying, and the little girl was annoying, and then the chunky kid was just chunky and shy. And then when they got their powers, I didn't give a shit. They were trying to play like they were kids. The only one that I liked when they got their powers was Freddy. Like, he felt like he earned it. Like, finally, I have these powers. He's excited. The other ones are just like, oh, I'm fucking strong now. Ooh, I can run fast. No thanks. Should have saved that shit for the second movie.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Grumpy. All right, Mr. Like.
But I love Captain America, baby.
Yeah. Look, I could go off on Captain America. I'm not going to do it because I respect it. I respect all these superhero characters. But anyway.
Hey, you can't go off on Captain America because guess what? As long as there's one person standing in front of you, you will not win.
Shazam's better than Captain America, the first one.
I just told you something Cap told Thanos in the comics, which is I wish he would have told him in Infinity War.
What is that?
In the Infinity Gauntlet comic, Thanos is killing people. He kills Cyclops, Thor, Iron Man, who is Rhodey. He cuts his head off, and he walks up to Captain America. Captain America just walks up to him like a pimp and says, "As long as there's one man standing in front of you, you will not win." And Thanos is about to fucking kill him, and Cap just looks at him in the eye like, "Do it, bitch." Then the Silver Surfer comes in and saves him. But yeah.
Yeah, all right. That was okay.
I wish you would have told him that in the movie. As long as there's one person in front of you, you will not win.
Not as good as the Shazam family. Anyway.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. It was a sick line.
The Sucky family, yeah.
Last one, because we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But, my last one is Aquaman. What the entire fuck is Aquaman? Everything about his whole scenario doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry, my mic got connected. Who is it?
Aquaman.
Are you serious?
About his whole mythology makes any sense, bro?
You're attacking my first favorite and then my second favorite hero.
Aquaman bothers me. It doesn't, like, nothing makes sense. I've never understood, like, what is his origin story even? What, like, I watched the film and it's like, why does he talk to fish? Why can't all the rest of the Atlanteans talk to fish? What's special about Arthur? Because shouldn't he have half the powers of someone from Atlantis since he's half human? It's not like if a Kryptonian gets with a human that they become a more powerful Kryptonian. They become half human, half Kryptonian, so they're half weak, half strong. Aquaman, he's half human and becomes more powerful than any of the Atlanteans. What is going on? How does that make any sense? And then there's just the mythology in general. Like I don't know. It's lighthouse keeper, father, the mother Atlanta comes, and shouldn't Orm be older than Aquaman? Because like I don't get that like relationship as well. Because Orm,
I think in the comics he is older than Aquaman.
Because Queen Atlanta runs away. But then they say that Aquaman is the rightful heir to the throne because he's the oldest son. But she runs away, and then she comes back and she's assassinated.
Dude, in the movie, I hate that they were trying to say that Patrick Wilson is younger than Jason Momoa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he's younger, what did the king do? Force her to have a baby and then assassinate her? I didn't get that. That sounded like some Me Too shit. I was like, hashtag Me Too, bro.
I honestly, I'm not sure if he's the only one who can talk to fish in Atlantis. I think in different interpretations, multiple Atlanteans can do it. It might just be something that he has. It's called something osis, something kinesis, or something.
Yeah, no.
Shit, I don't know everything about Aquaman. He's just my second favorite.
He like telepathy or something.
New 52, dude, you gotta read New 52 Aquaman, the adventures he goes on with this team called the Others, and him and Black Manta's rivalry. It's so fucking great.
I will, because it's Jeff Johns. I will one day.
Dude, it's so good. And Aquaman, he's not this guy will be like, I'm not gonna kill people. He's like, Manta, I'm going to fucking find you and I'm gonna pierce your heart with my trident. He will kill you. Now he doesn't, but
I'll tell you what, we're gonna do an episode where I get you to read a comic and you get me to read a comic. And then we do a review of it, like once we've completed it. We'll try and finish it.
I'm cool with that.
So I want you to read Shazam Volume 1 from Jeff Johns. I'll read Aquaman Volume 1 from Jeff Johns.
All right.
So that's our thing, and we'll do an episode.
I'm cool with that. I will definitely do that, and I'll be ready to shit all over it. I mean, what? I'm gonna give it a chance, dude. So, if once you read it, you will like Black Manta a lot. He's just a hardcore bad mofo.
Black Manta is one of my favorite. I don't mind. It's Aquaman I have a problem with. I don't get Aquaman. I don't get what he sometimes he's a king, like very royal and kingly. Other times he's like just some dude, and I don't get that aspect. I just don't get the linearity of his story. I don't get it from A to B to C how it works. Right? I certainly don't understand his powers. Like, why can he talk to fish and other Atlanteans can't? That's
because he's the son of the queen.
He can talk to fish before he has the magic trident. The magic trident only increases his ability to talk to fish.
I think that's just a movie thing. He could just do it anytime. Because in the comics, his dad he falls in the water and drowns as like an infant. And his dad is like a deep sea diver. He goes and finds him at the bottom of the ocean talking to a turtle when he's like an infant. So he can always communicate with sea life.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
that's just I didn't like that in the movie where it's like you got to get this MacGuffin before you can make Aquaman awesome, and then just give him the trident to whoop ass with, and maybe it can make him talk to more fish. But yeah, the movie is not good to me.
Skin's so tough. Tell me that. Why is his skin so tough and he's got super strength? Because he can survive the depths of the ocean.
Because he's an Atlantean, baby.
That doesn't make any sense either. And
how Superman drinks the energy of the sun into his cells or whatever.
That makes way more.
The Atlanteans, they over thousands of years take the pressure of the ocean, places where humans can't go, and he is descended from that.
That's my point. The other Atlanteans don't have that power though. They don't have that super strength and like he was picking up a fucking what was it? A submarine, dude. He picked up a whole fucking submarine from the sea.
He can take on Superman. Like his trident can pierce Superman. He can take punches, and he fights Superman in Aquaman Rebirth. Aquaman Rebirth is also another great Aquaman story.
I'll read it. I'm definitely. I like Jeff Johns, so any excuse.
Dude, I gotta say one thing about Aquaman. There's a fucking great moment because Black Manta is like out for justice, for vengeance. His whole life is about killing Aquaman because Aquaman accidentally killed his dad. And there's a point in Rebirth in like the 3rd issue where Aquaman lets Black Manta beat him. And he's like, hey, you can beat me. Kill me right now, dude. Kill me. But your life will be over because all you have is me. And if you don't have me to chase, then you're nothing. And Black Manta's like, God damn it, you're right. And he can't even kill him. Because like that's all his life has become about. He won't even be a person if he's not hunting Aquaman. It's a great scene.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so last one, we're going to talk about Shang Chi now. Now,
you keep saying Shang Chi.
That's his name.
Shang. You're saying Chang, like change.
Is it Shang-Chi?
Well, actually, it's pronounced apparently Shang-Chi, but I'm going to continue to say Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, okay. So
Shang-Chi, yes.
Let's try and like wrap our heads around him. Like, so Shang-Chi.
Sean Kingston.
Also known as the Master of Kung Fu and Brother Hand, is a fictional superhero appearing in all of that kind of thing. Shang-Chi was spun out of novels, blah blah blah. So I want to understand like his powers and where he comes from or what his origin is, right? So do you know anything about him? Have you researched anything about his origins or anything like that?
No, like I say in my trailer reaction, go check that out. The only comic I've ever seen him in is Avengers versus X-Men. They go to like Asia, or they go to somewhere, some like dojo to get some information from somebody, and he's like in the background. He fights for a couple panels, but I don't really know much about him.
What I've heard is he's like the Asian Captain America. He's got the super soldier serum, except he knows kung fu. That's my basic understanding of.
I have no idea.
Shang-Chi. I don't want to be accused of being a racialist again.
I'm just gonna call him Sean Kingston.
So I'm not gonna like mistake his name. I was, by the way, guys, in the beginning of the video, I'm not trying to justify this. I do this with whose name I can't pronounce.
Shang-Chi.
It could be from anywhere from Africa to the America. If I don't know your name, I make plays on your name. So it wasn't a racial thing. And also, that was literally the first thing I said when I saw this Marvel Comics character. I was like, oh, so who's this? I'm not going to repeat it again because people get offended for some reason for everything. I was like, who's this character, basically, because I was intrigued by him. So it says that Shang-Chi, his superpowers, okay, so although it has never been determined exactly how extensive Shang-Chi's fighting skills are, he has beaten numerous superhuman opponents. Shang-Chi, classed as an athlete, but he is one of the best non-superhumans in martial arts. So he's not got any superpowers and has dedicated much of his life to the art, being referred to by some as the greatest empty-handed fighter and practitioner of Kung Fu alive, with even Ares acknowledging him as one of the few mortals who can hold his own against a god without use of magic. Wow. That doesn't make much sense, but I like it.
But I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the end-all be-all of Marvel comic knowledge, but if he was so fucking dope, I think that I would have. I know a lot of Marvel characters, and he has slipped through my fingertips. He's like a DF level hero. Like I've never really heard of him. They've never pushed him before. Like I don't know anything about this guy. Like I've never heard of him.
No, but it's good that they're pushing him because they do need some Asian characters, and it's good that they didn't like decide, oh, let's make let's turn a white person or a black character or anything else into an Asian character. They actually,
I do like that. I like that a lot.
Found a good Asian character. I would have liked to see Sunspot as the first Marvel Asian character they dealt with, so they could build the X-Men. I always liked Sunspot from the X-Men.
Sunspot awesome. Is cool. I mean, he was in Days of Future Past, but I don't even think he was kind of like Mexican. And that's not the MCU. So, but yeah, Sunspot's pretty cool. He's a very underrated X-Men.
Yeah, I always liked him. I think he's gay now in the comics as well, which is fine.
I think so. Yeah, but dude, I love like Asian culture and Japanese culture. Like I love Japanese music and the fashion, the art. I like how they do shit in Japan, dude.
Yeah, I like the comics as well, the mangas and all of that kind of stuff. So I love all that. Love all of that culture. So I'm looking forward to the Shang-Chi. I'm gonna try and pronounce it right every time. The Shang-Chi movie. I thought it looked really exciting, actually, and it looked a little bit different to some of the Marvel movies we've got before. It looked very cinematic. That's what I liked about it. So, and I like the idea of a human who's learned martial arts to a degree that he can even face superhumans. That's kind of cool. I'd like superpowers, though. I want him to be a little bit OP because he's the first Asian hero. I want him to be like an OP character. You know,
I mean, I want to see him. Heroes, what the fuck? heroes are the best when they get their ass kicked, I think. Like that's why Indiana Jones movies are so compelling, because he's not this badass who can shoot lasers. Like Indy's constantly getting his ass kicked, about to get killed by Nazis and shit, and you root for him when he finally gets that last punch on the goon. Like I want to see Shang-Chi in some knockdown, drag out, hand-to-hand brawls, getting cut up. Come on, Marvel, give us some more blood, give us some more brutality. I like that's why I think I like Captain America, even though he has super soldier serum. Like he still gets in these hand-to-hand gruesome battles. I like the more weaker characters who, I don't know, it feels more, there are more stakes when they're fighting because it feels like something could happen to them. But even though it's Marvel, he's not going to die in his first movie. I like that he doesn't have a lot of powers, especially if he fights his dad.
Yeah, and I was going to say that just before we finish this up, that what I like, I do agree with that, but like I think there's some OP characters in the Marvel universe, and so I want him to be able to stand up to them. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean OP like, I want him to be able to fight Iron Man. This is the first Asian character. Do them proud. Make sure that this is a guy who's one of the guys. Do you know what I mean? I want him to be able to fight like a Doctor Strange or somebody like that. Even if it's just through, I want them to give him enough tools to be able to mix it up a little. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. I mean, he might have dragons on his side.
Cool.
Or Fing Fang Foom is actually probably going to be. He might fight Fing Fang Foom in the movie. That dude, man, if Fing Fang Foom is in this movie, a fucking huge dragon is fighting. It's gonna get awesome. It's gonna be dope. But Superwise says that Shang-Chi might take the 10 rings for himself, and that'll be his power. I would like that. Or if he just got like two of the rings, just wore one on each wrist, I'd be okay with that.
Cool. I'm sorry. No worries, man. Those Master of Kung Fu comics from back in the day are very good. Yeah, true.
I am more familiar with Iron Fist. I have watched and read more Danny Rand, but it is kind of like I don't really get into the notion of whitewashing things. I don't complain about that a lot, but I do agree that Iron Fist is way more popular. But if you're gonna do the first Kung Fu movie, make it an Asian guy, make it Shang-Chi. I completely agree that it should be him. Plus, Iron Fist already got his due. Well, he didn't because the show kind of sucked, but I would like to see the
Iron show. But I thought they should have just made him Asian. I'm sorry.
I would be fine with that. I mean,
he's white in the comics or whatever, but I would have just made him Asian. I mean, it's like
I wouldn't mind that.
I think he should have been. That would have been cool.
Because he could still be like a rich preppy boy that's Asian.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have made that much difference. Especially if he's American and he's an American Asian guy who's not really connected to his culture, and then by going on this journey, he becomes more connected with his Asian culture. That would have been cool, rather than having Danny Rand or whatever do it.
So Finwer says that he hates that they're trying to race bend Iron Fist.
Well, you see, this is the thing about race bending. Nobody said anything when they race bent the Doctor Strange character. The what's her name? The one who teaches Doctor Strange.
Oh, wait, sorry. What do you say? I'm reading the comments. Who? The Ancient One?
Yeah,
or Baron Mordo.
Yeah, no one complained when people race, because they say no one ever race bends like Asian or black characters. That's not actually true.
I heard some people were saying that they were whitewashing it.
Yeah, there wasn't a big, exactly, the Ancient One. So there wasn't a big outcry of that. And to me, as I said, I don't mind race bending. I don't even mind them race bending the Ancient One necessarily, although I don't think Asians have that many opportunities in Hollywood. So I think the few opportunities they do have, you should probably give it to them to actually do their own fucking thing. But I don't mind them race-bending any character, and certainly, what's her name, Tilda Swinton was excellent in the role. So it's not like I was mad at it, but I'm just saying that they do race-bend these characters. They race-bent Bane from the Batman movies. Nobody said shit.
He's Spanish, isn't he?
Yeah, nobody said shit when they race-bent him. And as soon as you race-bend like a couple of white characters, people were, well, not a couple. There's been quite a lot. But people do complain about it. I feel like a little bit too much. Like, to be honest, it's like if it doesn't matter to the character that they're white, I really don't see the problem. So let's see what they say here. This movie feels like a response to the Iron Fist show. Yeah. I'm more of an Iron Fist fan than a Shang-Chi movie. I hate that they are trying to race bend Iron Fist. Who's Iron? You mean? Oh, you mean Iron Fist, like the one that they had, like he was white, right?
I don't know if he means they're literally race bending him in the comics, or they're like using Shang-Chi to. What do you mean? Are they using Shang-Chi to replace Iron Fist, or are they literally race bending him in the comics? I'm not following Iron Fist right now in the comics, so I don't know.
I don't know if are they race bending him in the comics? Tell us more, Fenya. Are they trying to? Yeah, exactly. Are they trying to do that? And then he goes to Ancient One. There was some big controversy with that, from what I remember. With the Ancient One, I don't think there was a massive. There was a little bit. There's a little bit. I think if they did it now, there would be a huge outcry. But at the time when they did it, there wasn't a big. There was a little bit. Some people were saying it.
Man, get out of your bubble, bro.
So, dude, if you and I do a race bend stream, I'm good.
Dude, I think the Fenrir the Ice Wolf and the Film Elitist would get along quite well in a stream.
They care about the Ancient One because it was a woman and China demanded it.
I mean, I definitely think that there's a reason Marvel's making the first Asian movie right now. I mean, it's gonna make absolute bank. Yeah, Shang-Chi's it's gonna break $1 billion, like guaranteed.
Yep. He's a luchador. Okay, I think
they meant Bane.
Yeah, he's a luchador. Yeah, he was Colombian in the comics, and they race bent him. They haven't race bent him in the comics.
No, Finner says they want to race bend Danny Rand in both comics and movies because the only Asians can do martial arts, which is actually more racist than anything. I mean, I don't give a damn who the race is of any character. I just want good characters. Yeah, like if somebody, I understand both sides. If a character is drawn a certain way for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, like when you make the movie and you're selling somebody a product, something that they grew up loving, give them the character they grew up with. If you're going to change it, you might as well just change the whole character. Then you're just using the dead body of that character to step on to sell them your new character.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Are you okay with the Flash having black hair?
Personally, I don't like that. I don't like that they made his hair black. I don't like that his lightning is blue. I think it's just unnecessary changes that Zack Snyder made.
I'm talking about the TV show as well. The TV show is got.
I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. But I think Barry Allen, he's iconic for having blonde hair. It's a decision that I just don't understand why you would change it. The only thing I could think of was Ezra Miller just didn't want to wear a wig. Or didn't want to dye his hair.
I'm glad you're being consistent. Because I was saying that about like the Supergirl character or Supergirl. I was like, I was asking somebody else, like, would you care if she has brown eyes then? Like, would that make a difference? And they were like, no, it's just that she has to be white. And I was like, well, it's like if you want it to look like it does in the comic, that's not how it looks in the comic. So I'm glad you're being consistent. Philosophical Pickle, you and me would get along in a stream. Nerdman, give me the link to Discord.
We definitely have to. I mean, I've seen some of your guys' streams before. We definitely got to get together and do some shit.
I'm about to end this stream, and then I'll talk to Philosophical Pickle after, and we'll see if we can get you on a stream. All right, but I'm about to end the stream right now. Give us some good action, minimal cutting, and long takes. I think you mean of the Shang-Chi. Yeah, I agree.
Dude, I love long takes, dude.
The Flash movie is going to make him have the yellow lightning. I hope that works.
I think Superwise is saying that because the teaser they released had yellow lightning on it. I hope they do. Like, that's an iconic thing. Every time he moves in the comics, you see yellow lightning coming from him. I don't know why he changed it to blue just to make it more realistic. Bro, it's the Flash. He was struck by lightning in a lab and some shit spilled on him. Make the fucking lightning yellow. It's not supposed to be realistic.
Well, I like the way it looks. I don't mind that, but I would like to see how the yellow looks. I can't imagine it, but it might look kind of cool at the same time. I can't personally imagine them trying to make that look realistic, but we'll see. I want Barry to be blonde, and I want Wally to be ginger. Yeah, I think a ginger Flash would be cool. I would personally cast a ginger Flash if it was me. I think that's part of the iconicness of it. You know, like, it's part of what makes him different. It makes him pop as a character, being ginger, I think. So I that's what I would personally do. But at the same time, a lot of people talk about race bending, but they never talk about, like, well, you don't seem to mind, like, everyone changing superheroes' hair color or eye color, or, you know.
I care about that.
Like that. But given that Philosophical Pickle does care about that, then I respect that. No, I respect that. If you, as long as you remain consistent in your argument, I'll respect it. You know, it's your opinion.
I'm trying to think of somebody in the MCU that they changed their look. I'm trying to think.
Wolverine.
That's strange. But I'm like trying to think of somebody that they changed like their hair color or just changed something so much that it made me angry.
I don't think they've done it that much in.
I don't think they have.
They've been pretty good with that. Like, they didn't make more black-haired or you know.
If Tony Stark, like I've said this before, if Tony Stark just the exact same character, don't change a damn thing about any of his movies, but make him blonde. It's just like, why? That's not how he was drawn. Like that. I don't want to see him with blonde hair. I want to see him. I want to see the characters I grew up with. I'm not going to watch Shang-Chi because it just looks like a good movie. I'm going to watch it because I'm a fan of the MCU. I want to see the Easter eggs. Especially if you're a fan of a character and you want to go see them on screen, I want to see the character I'm a fan of. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to see a black Wolverine who looks completely different with green eyes and no beard. Like, I want to see the characters that I read.
Wolverine, I wouldn't race bend, but there's, according to my own logic, that contradicts my own logic, because I don't think anything about his story necessitates him being white. I don't think if you changed his color, it would make that much of a difference to his story. But nonetheless, there's something about Wolverine. I would never race bend him. But there's characters I just don't think it matters with certain characters.
So Finner says they changed.
Like Hawkman, I think it's a better idea to race.
I agree, because he comes from Egyptian roots. He's reincarnated, and like, you can make sense. Like, you can say that if he's reincarnated, like, he can play the same actor from 6,000 years ago, and he would probably be a dark-skinned black person in Egypt.
Yeah. So
they changed Scott Lang's hair from blonde to black. Okay, there's one. But I'm personally not a Scott Lang fan, like super fan. I have a couple of his comics, but like, why change his hair? Like, just tell Paul Rudd to change his fucking hair. I'm sure Scott Lang fans were like, damn, change your hair color, bro.
he's still iconic. He's still, oh, sorry, he's not iconic enough for it to matter. I guess just wants a character's really iconic.
Oh, I know one. You continue. I got another one.
Can I finish just this?
Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, once a character's really, really iconic, that's when I start thinking more that it's unnecessary. So, like someone like Flash, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter if he's black, white, Chinese, whatever, or Asian or whatever. But still, I like my Flash white. I don't know why. It's something, he's too iconic. He's just too iconic now to change. But then there's iconic characters that for some reason it wouldn't bother me if you changed their race. Like, it really wouldn't. I wouldn't mind like an Indian Wonder Woman or something like that. Like, because she comes from this island of Amazons. They're all different races. It doesn't really make a difference, like, to me, as long as she's got that authoritative kind of presence to her. So what were you going to say?
Jesse Christian, Valkyrie, they race bent her, so they made her hair black. She was a white lady with blonde hair. But the biggest one that they changed that I've talked about with my brother a lot is Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movies. I don't care if they race bend her. That's fine. But like, her red hair is so iconic from the Spider-Man stories. Like, that's a character that I can't imagine her without red hair.
Yeah.
Like, if you've read Spider-Man, Mary Jane, you see her in like a green sweater with the red hair. It complements each other. Like, I don't want to see an MJ with black hair.
But that girl, what's her name, has had red hair before. And
I forgot her name. But in the movies, she doesn't have red hair. That's a nitpick.
She could have red hair. And
like, she could have red hair. You can be black and have red hair.
Yeah, so I don't really see why they didn't do that. They did that for Starfire. They changed Starfire's hair when they made her black, but she was orange in the comics anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I want Scott Eastwood to be the MCU Wolverine. Yeah, I can see that. It's not my first.
You're smoking bowls, man.
Really? You don't like?
It's Carl Urban or go home.
No,
I don't care if he was Scourge, dude. Carl Urban is Wolverine.
He's already. That is true. He really is.
Dude, think about him in Dread. Him in Dread, like that's fucking Wolverine. He's like short.
I would actually say him more in the Star Trek movies.
Like when he's always like, fucking, it's not gonna work. We're gonna fucking die. Like, he's always got he has that Wolverine like frown on his face. He looks Him as Billy Butcher. That's Wolverine, dude.
Yeah, as well. So that was the Valkyrie comic. If they intended Valkyrie to be Brumhilde, then that's some race bending. But I don't think that matters. I can see that. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon is actually a good race bent choice. He's black, but still gives off the Gordon vibe. I can accept. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's just certain characters it doesn't really matter with. I really do, especially if it's a supporting character. Supporting characters are meant to change, the vibe of them. I think the worst thing is to change the superhero. The villains and the supporting characters, I think the more it's like the Joker. There's so many different versions of the Joker. Like, I could even see a black person playing the Joker. Like, I think that would actually be an interesting take on the Joker. Like, I know a particular black actor who would be fucking amazing at it. But yeah, so I think with villains, supporting cast characters, for the most part, I'm more lenient with them. With the actual superheroes, they, I think, can be tricky. It depends. Magneto, who's a villain, again, I really think it would be a good idea to race bend him going into the future in terms of, dude, we're too far away from World War II. He can't be 100 and something years old. So let's update the conflict to something modern. That turns him into Magneto.
But you actually, I told you that months ago that I think that his character is so connected to the Nazi stuff that I didn't think you could change his skin color. But you made a good point that, I mean, he would have to be in his 90s if he was a child back then. So you would have to update him. So it would make sense that he would be a part of like the civil rights stuff. I just personally,
or some other conflict. It doesn't have to be.
I like not to compare travesties. I don't think the civil rights movement in America, like the whole black people in America, I don't think had it as hard in the 60s as the people going into the death camps. I'm sorry. I think the death camps made it a lot more, it hit a lot more home.
You can't say that at the end of a fucking stream. That's a whole conversation. You can't say that at the end of the stream. Well, you're just gonna throw that in and make it look like I'm not...
just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. He's wrong. He's not wrong completely, but he's no. The whole history, you can't just take it like in the 60s specifically. It's the whole fucking history of it's comparable in a major way. I mean, you've just got to look at the slaves who were thrown off of slave ships to drown, and these and the Jim Crow era and all that.
We're talking about what Magneto would have gone through in like if Magneto's in his 40s,
he would have had the trauma. Like he would have seen people who are going out trying to
get water hosed in the street. I mean, that's not as bad as getting gassed.
Wait a second. You remember that civil rights leaders, lots of them were killed by the FBI, but he would have had that same fucking paranoia as Magneto. He would have been looking at someone like J. Edgar Hoover and being like, see, this is the reason. If you get these people who are in power, right, like that's what they'll do if they have the power. So we have the power, so we must fucking assert our will, as mutants over these guys. I can totally see that. That would completely track, and it doesn't need to be as terrible as being in the gas. You can't compare the two probably worst tragedies in history. And so,
I'm Homelander. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay, whatever. But you can't bench them off each other.
I haven't heard of one single story from the civil rights era that Magneto would like. Let's say his parents were killed by the police or something in the 60s. Like, just I don't want to compare the travesties, but that doesn't compare to people being round up like cattle and put in a gas chamber. Like, he still got to go back to his house, even if he lived in the ghetto. He might have been afraid of the police to get hosed and stuff. Like, black people were treated like garbage. But it just doesn't compare to the Nazi camps.
You're not talking about the history that leads up to that and everything.
Magneto doesn't care about that when he's 8.
Yes, he would. He would if your grandparents are telling you about like all the fucking shit that, dude, Mississippi. In the fucking 60s, with all the fucking people just lynching and killing people, the fucking Ku Klux Klan coming around your house, firebombing your house. These people lived in terror 24/7. You can't fucking say that, they weren't rounded up like Jews and gassed. They lived in a completely different form of terror than the Jews. That was pretty fucking awful. It was
awful. I just don't think it was as awful because they got to still eat food at night. They got to lay on beds. They didn't have to smell
they lived in little shitty fucking ghettos or whatever. Not even ghettos. It was even before the ghettos. It was like, I'm talking about deep South fucking Mississippi with the Ku Klux Klan ruling over. You get killed. You go to court. The judge is a fucking Ku Klux Klan member. Everyone's a Ku Klux Klan member. Your parents don't get justice. Your family don't get justice. They then come and kill your sister and your brother. Yeah, because you decided to talk. You weren't allowed to vote. If you tried to go and vote, they'll fucking kill you. Of course, that could create Magneto. Are you crazy? That's.
But is that as powerful as seeing everybody that after sleeping on the literal? You have to sleep where you shit. Then when you wake up and wipe the shit out of your eyes, you're rounded up and you see your parents be burned, and you can smell their charred bones.
Do you realize these people were going around collecting people and hanging them from fucking trees, burning their houses while they were in them, throwing Molotov?
Sometimes this happened, yes.
Not sometimes, it happened a lot, bro. Are you serious?
It happened a lot.
Fucking in the South? You've got to be kidding me, man.
It did happen. I just don't think it was. I don't want to compare the shit. Like, it was a terrible time. I think they could make it work. I just personally think that he's so iconic, the Nazi thing, that I think that it should stick some way.
To me, it doesn't matter about the era. It's about who were treated worse. Look,
this is a dangerous path we're going down.
Well, I know. I'm sorry, because guys, there's no treating worse when it comes to being treated like the lowest of the low. They were both treated bad in very, very different ways. And also, I'm not, dude. You don't have to do. As I said, I was not a proponent that it has to be the civil rights movement. It could be South Africa. It could be. Fucking somewhere in Bosnia. Some Bosnian things went down. It could be the genocide in in fucking. What's it called in Vietnam with the not the Viet Cong but the ones who came after.
So you don't think that Magneto has to be American?
No, he's not even American in fucking the normal X-Men. He's just a very intelligent guy from Germany or whatever, I guess. He's not American.
That's true. He's not even American in the movies.
He said it could be the Rwandan genocide would be a good historical moment. I don't mean it has to be black and white, or it doesn't have to be that, but it has to be updated to a new. There's plenty of tragedies to go around.
Guys, in the comments, what is your favorite genocide?
Shut up. Jesus Christ, now you're really gonna get my fucking thing. I get what you're saying, but I really
I don't want to sound harsh, but
you have to look. I don't know how much you've read into the and you're from America, so I'm not going to presume you haven't read into it. Maybe you just don't think it's comparable, but I think if you look at how somebody would feel existentially at that time, they're not going to be thinking, oh, I have it bad, but those at least I'm not a Jew. At least I'm not a Jew in the Holocaust. They're not going to be thinking that. They're just going to be thinking, fuck these Ku Klux Klan. They're just fucking coming to my house, burning my family, hanging my father because he wants to vote, fucking raping my whatever girlfriend, accusing me of raping some white woman and then fucking hanging me in the streets without any fucking trial. It would have been a terrible, terrible fucking way to exist. So I think that definitely could create somebody who has the mentality of.
Totally.
But and again, I'm not advocating it for it to be that. I'm saying that it could be any of the.
My whole point, where we're talking about like iconography, I think Magneto is so intrinsically connected to the Holocaust. I just can't see him being. It's like I don't want to see Captain America not have blonde hair. I don't see Magneto being anything but being a Nazi-hating motherfucker.
No, but yeah, again, there's different versions of these comic characters, and I think that's what makes them interesting. I think the most interesting comic characters are the ones that are most elastic. Again, I go to the Joker. You can do so many variations of why the Joker became the Joker, whether it's mental health, whether it's criminal, whether he's a gangster or a hood or whatever. So I think with Magneto, the elasticity comes with, well, what made him Magneto? And I'd like to see a story where they tackle that. Again, it could be, I would love to find out, like, because it would be interesting as well, like, oh, what if he was part of the Bosnian, what happened in Bosnia, in the 90s, like that would be interesting because I don't even know that much about that. So it would be cool to see a Magneto who's born of that and how that changes him slightly from being born of the Nazis,
But then we wouldn't get to see Kevin Bacon shoot his mom in the stomach.
But they did do shit like that during that.
But I have to have Kevin Bacon killing Magneto's mother in every movie. I need it. Eat the chocolate. It's good.
It's good. So,
dude, when he puts that coin through Kevin Bacon's head at the end of First Class, fucking excellent. Love that.
Yeah. All right. So it says here, but that would be give us a younger Magneto, say in his 30s or 40s. Right, yeah, the Rwandan genocide definitely would do that.
I can't believe this video took a sharp, dark turn the
Oh yeah,
past 20
this
minutes.
has nothing to do with the title of the video. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, a lot of people are throwing the Armistad era for Magneto origin, which honestly I think would be an interesting reimagining. But I'd like Ralph Fiennes as Professor X, yeah, or Magneto. Professor X, I don't want changed as much as Magneto. You know, I think Professor X is perfect. Like,
can I give you a hot take? This might be my hottest casting take I've ever had, and I'm not just trying to be that guy, but dude, Viola Davis as Professor X would be fucking fantastic. Change my mind. I got to do a whole video about that. Viola Davis would kill it as Professor X. Think about it. Let it resonate.
Wait, Viola Davis is a brilliant actress, and she could do a lot of things.
Are you laughing at that comment or what I said?
I just don't even know what to say. I'm stopped. I can't believe you're saying this.
I just came up with that one day. I was like, dude, she's my favorite actress. She would nail it. I would be okay if they changed it to like Charlie Xavier or something. I don't give a fuck. She's so good. She could fucking play Captain America. I'd be okay with it. Not really, but you know.
You're being funny now, right? You're taking the piss with the Professor.
Yeah. But seriously, guys.
I was stunned. I was like,
no. I'm not kidding here.
I've gone into a new reality.
I'm not being facetious or kidding. If you were to change, the only time I would be okay with any of these characters changing race and gender at the same time would be Viola Davis leading the fucking mutants. Make her bald, baby. Make her bald. I'm not joking. That's probably my hottest casting take I've ever had.
All right, we've just had it. Hot Takes Tuesdays. Viola Davis would be the best recasting for.
It would be very, like Superwise says, it would be very woke-ish if they changed his gender and race. But man,
I agree with Pickle though. I think that you need it.
Oh, he's still, or she's still on the Nazi stuff.
They should start a favorite genocide, bro. Come on, yeah. Dude, First Class is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
Really good. I really love it.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I think you can change. If they've never done the original Magneto, then I'd be like, absolutely not. But once you've done the classic one properly, then you can go and do different interpretations. Get the classic one down first, then we can start thinking about, doing different shit. I don't like when they start trying to do different shit straight away. I'm open to Giancarlo Espinito Magneto. In fact, having Armistad era as the origin, but Armistad's older than fucking the Nazis. Like that's before even the Nazis. So I don't see how that would work. You can't.
Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
Why are you guys ignoring the de-aging machine?
Oh, I totally forgot about it. Then why not just de-age every character, and like that would make death not a thing, and we need more stakes in Marvel, not less.
Sorry, Pickle. I just no.
Damn it, I guess I guess that makes up for my all my other times that I was right.
Viola Davis gives off a serious vibe, but Professor X, a black woman, that'd be a little wokest Disney ever got. Yeah, that's a bit too much for me. That's a bit too rich for my blood. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, one thing I should say about Professor X and Magneto before we leave, one thing that we should say is that they are based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yep.
So Stanley actually said that they're based on that. So it would have some kind of continuity with the comics if you did make it a civil rights thing that created Magneto. I think that's a good reason why you could explore that avenue.
Yeah. Well, Stanley Stan Lee says that, but he didn't actually have the balls to make him black. So did he really mean it?
Well, he's Jewish, so the Holocaust
I know.
that would have meant more to him, I suppose. Which is,
but seriously, guys, Denzel. Think about it. Denzel Washington as Professor X.
I don't like Denzel Washington. I like
Wolverine. Come over here, motherfucker.
Posh. I like posh, well-spoken Professor X. I don't care what he is, but he needs to be posh, well-spoken.
I agree. I'm mostly joking with that one, but I do think Denzel's better than Viola Davis.
All right. Hottest take for a casting decision off the top of my head.
You say what? Hot take. What?
My hot take, like Ricky Gervais, Captain America.
Ricky Gervais is fucking hilarious, but
Ricky Gervais next Captain America. That's as good as
Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes as anybody. I mean, I think he would be better as Magneto, but yeah.
Philosophical pickle, yeah. The de-aging machine works with super soldier serum.
Oh.
Rare to make, dude. Let's just do a stream. Fenya, we're going to talk about that right after we get off this stream.
Hey, maybe invite, when we get off of this, invite Finra to talk with us, like just off stream.
Yeah, okay. Denzel Washington as Magneto. Yep. No. No. Ralph Fiennes as Professor. I don't like Denzel Washington no. He's not got that. He's a bit street, Denzel Washington, which I like about him, but like he's
yeah.
Ralph Fiennes.
Plus he's way too hot. I mean,
yeah,
he's way too sexy.
Yeah, he's too buff, and I don't see that. Dacre Montgomery, Scott Eastwood. One of the main inspirations for Wolf was Clint or Milo Gibson are my picks. Yeah, not as good as mine. Ricky Gervais, Captain America. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. Last one. Denzel is one of the best actors. I really like him. Yeah, he's fucking wonderful.
Gotta get Denzel in there somewhere. Denzel, come on to the MCU. I know Denzel's watching this right now.
DC.
Get both. Come on. Give us the more Denzel, the better. I know he's watching the stream. Denzel, please.
Exclusive for DC. He's got class, man. He's got class. He needs to be in a DC movie, a hardcore, dark, depressing, gritty DC movie. Denzel Washington plays Plastic Man in a dark movie.
Denzel Washington is Black Canary.
Yes, dude. Give him a superhero role. Yeah, man. Plastic Man, definitely. Like
we definitely the train got off the
Plastic Man, Denzel Washington. You know that's going to be live.
We definitely the train got off the tracks here this past 45 minutes.
Yeah, LOL. He got class. Put him in DC. Yeah, exactly. All right. Good. So we're gonna Fenya, I'm gonna send you a link after we go off, and we might discuss that stream. And thank you guys for joining. It's actually Plastic Woman now. I've heard about this, but
Viola Davis.
That movie is supposedly happening. Guys, remember, please do like, give me a high five, smash that like button for me. And also like, subscribe. What else do you do on YouTube? Comment. Love the comments. We'll reply to the comments.
Hit the notification bell and smash that like button, dude.
Cool. So apart from that, I'll see you on the flip side. I'm not a racist, and sorry.
Subscribe to Philosophical Pickle.
That wasn't even funny. But I'll see you on the flip side, and I love you 3000. Peace.